And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Culp. I'm your host. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It's April 16th, 2026. Right. Hope you're having a good day. As always, lots to cover. And a warning today on something you may not know about and you may be involved in. That'll be in a minute. In case you don't know, this is serious talk on everything that affects you. We'll do the markets, the economy, your job, your industry, war, tariffs, debt, deficits, scams and shams and corruption and lies and cheaters and all that crap. And if you don't get this radio show in your city, we'll post it at GaryK.com. We'll also post it on our X feed. And if you don't follow us on X, you should. Just put our name in. If you'd like to email us, just be nice. We'll also post it on our BizTV YouTube channel. So we said we had a warning for you. If any of you have reservations on Spirit Airlines, this is not coming from me. I am making no predictions. We're just letting you know it's being reported that they're on the verge of shutting down. Just letting you know. And of course, if they do, you're not going on a flight. Now, this is what's being reported, that any day, I have no idea whether it's true or not, but from my peeps, I thought I'd bring it up. Hope you don't mind. And as you know, Spirit's had problems. They were going to merge with, was it JetBlue, I think? And the Biden administration said no, but JetBlue has their own problems. Stock's at $5.50. I think they have a lot of debt. I think that's the issue. And of course, it certainly does not help what's happened with price of oil, which may or may not come down a lot. It has come down, but there was a story out today that it would take months to come to some conclusion with Iran. We'll see. And, you know, I don't believe a word that comes out of the president on Iran because and it has nothing to do with me. He's changed it 47 times, and that was in the first week. Today he says, oh, we've got a deal very close. They want a deal, this, that. I hope so. But just letting you know. Spirit Airlines. Speaking of the president, so yesterday I complimented him profusely. I got people complaining about that also. So when I hammer them, I get the Trump lovers emailing me all pissed off. I compliment him yesterday. I guess somebody doesn't like Trump. Email me. Can't win. Anyway, just so you know, we don't care about Donald Trump. We are not into personality. We care about policy as well as demeanor. We call balls and strikes. We are not Republican. We are not Democrat. We went independent many years ago because they all suck. $39 trillion of debt says so. Liars, cheaters, corruption, self-dealing, insider trading says it all. Shutdowns. Government shutdown. Why would we ever have a government shutdown? Because they suck. TSA, look what just happened. Because they suck. And of course, both parties blames each other. And just like I tell you, when the debt finally blows up, the culprits will be the dead or retired. And the people that are left are just blaming each other. And who gets to be the victims? Us. When they are forced to do something with Social Security because they sat around twiddling their thumbs forever as it goes into insolvency eventually, they'll blame each other. That's how it is. They're that bad. They're terrible. They're nightmarish, both sides. So again, I don't care about, and I know people love this person. I don't care about any of them. I care about policy, and they all suck, except for a couple of people that Trump hates. Because Trump is the farthest thing from a conservative. He's a socialist. He's a control freak socialist. And likes higher taxes. He says tariffs is his favorite word in the dictionary. That's higher taxes. Anyway, that's that for today. Fair enough? So now I'll get some hate emails from the people that love Trump. I don't care. I don't care. Because I watched today, and the BS that's being spewed is just beyond the beyond. Greatest economy ever. We just did a 0.05 GDP. 0.5%. The job market, well, we finally had a decent month, but in the last year, 6 months of the year, down. Remember they told us about debt and deficits, Trump? It'll be about $2.8 trillion the fiscal year. The worst ever. And of course, doesn't help that we're going to spend all that on the war. So I have no use for any of them. I don't care. And just so you know, those that love one or the other, you're getting conned by both sides. They're the greatest con artists of all times. Boy, oh boy. Next, Allbirds. So, yesterday, you get this company that sells pretty comfortable shoes, but I guess they went out of business, got rid of all their stores, sold the business for hop, skip, and a jump, and they changed their name to AI, and they're going to take some debt or convertibles and do something with AI. The stock goes from $2.50 to a high of $24 yesterday. What do we tell you about those things? What do we always tell you? There are certain lines we use. One of them is, don't be the last one in. What's the other line? If something was $2.50 and the next day it's 24, and you're thinking about buying it at 24, you better ask yourself a question: do I have risk? Because in order to get to $24, somebody had to pay 10, 4 times what it was the day before. Somebody had to pay 11, 12, 13, and they're happy because it kept going up to 24. But in order to get to 24.25, which is the high, somebody had to pay $24.24. Amazingly so, somebody would do that. It closed at $10.91 today. And you need to know it's going back probably where it came. You know what? I can't say that. I can't say this one's going back where it came from because it said AI and who the hell knows. Just be careful with your money. How many more examples? Recently, the nuclear, the rare earth, the quantums, the Donald Trump stocks. You know, the latest one the Trump sons did with, it's called JFB Construction. They merged this, that, and the other thing to do something with something of stable coins or this coin or that coin. I don't know what the hell it is. All I know is they got it jammed up to $17.55. It's $5.38. And that is not a rip. I don't care if it's the Trumps, the Bidens, doesn't matter to me. We're here to protect you when all hell is breaking loose. So just letting you know, the Allbirds, I have no idea where it goes, but you need to know. If something was 2.5 yesterday and all they did was change their name and use some convertibles to do something with something, careful. And I say that knowing, well, you could have paid 10. which is 4 times the amount, which is crazy, and you would have doubled your money the same day if you sold, of course. You just don't know where it ends. You just got to think. You just got to think. And I promise you, going forward, there'll be plenty more crazy things happen because you have easy money people. The latest guy in the Fed that Trump put in wants 4 rate cuts. He's nuts. Up next. More on that. Today's market. Relentless. I'm Gary. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. By the way, I was alluding to Trump put somebody on the board, the Fed, a guy named Mirren. And all he is an easy money dolt. D-O-L-T. Go look it up. He said today he wants 3 or 4 rate cuts. It's the most idiotic, ridiculous statement on earth. Your 3.5% Fed funds rate, you're at 4.93% the 30-year. You're at 4.3 10-year. You don't need any more rate cuts now. But this guy Mirren is Donald Trump. What do we tell you? Whoever Trump puts in, you might as well just put the little strings on the shoulder. You don't cut rates when inflation's picked up and interest rates are much higher. You should follow the interest rate market as a central banker, because if you don't, you're going to create what the bozo Powell created. 9% inflation. Was that fun? Anyway, so this guy, and he's putting this other guy, Warshin, once he passes through the Senate, to be the Fed head. The good news is it takes a whole bunch of people to vote on rate cuts. So that will be of import. All right, few things today. Netflix reported earnings. They beat by a mile. But they warned going forward, it's down $10 in the aftermarket to 97 and change, which is, what'd they do, a 10 for 1? $100, if I am correct. Yeah, I believe so. I think they did a 10 for 1. Yeah. Anyways, we'll see how that goes tomorrow, but that's the story with Netflix. And speaking of Netflix and all these others, boy, they keep raising their prices. Man, oh man. Looks like sales may be a little bit light. I'm looking at subscriptions. I don't see anything on that yet, but I guess they said something the market didn't like. We'll see if that changes in any way, shape, or form once they do the conference call. But it's down about $10. That's a big drop. Okay. I will tell you that another, I guess the word is relentless. Ever since the low, are we ever going to have a down day again? Well, I can promise you we will. Dow was up. The Dow was underperforming the rest. 115 in the Dow today. Microsoft up another 8.5. Just remember, the Microsoft was a horror show. A horror show. But 4 days ago, woke up. Whatever reason. And has gone from, not making this up, this is Microsoft, 370 to 420 in 4 trading days. That's unbelievable. Was that about 13-14% for a mega cap? Isn't any wonder the NASDAQ 100's better? Because some other big software has been following. You've had better action in Meta. Off of, they mentioned AI. What else is new? AI news. Meta's gone from the recent low of 520 to 676. With gaps. That helps the NASDAQ 100. Amazon has come straight up. Still, Amazon has done nothing. By the way, Amazon is still trading where it was December of 24. But back getting close to the highs again. That's helped. Tesla was down today, but that had a good day yesterday for no reason. And then the software, another pretty decent day. Remember, we tell you we have this left screen. It's on our left with down and out software and all kinds of tech. Well, there was a bunch of red today. Okay. But more green. I think they're going to hit a wall sooner rather than later. But I can tell you flat out, that's the story going right now. A pickup of the bottom of the worst stuff. The mega caps going en fuego for 5 days. The semiconductors, and I will tell you, today was a day of secondary semiconductors. Good day. And one name that has finally come to new highs, AMD today, was up on almost 2 times average volume and broke out over a 6-month trading range. So even that one's coming on. So good day. I have no complaints. Except I sold my semiconductor ETF yesterday. That's a complaint. Ain't gonna end my world and I get back in, but what else? Oh, I've got to mention the transports are up another 865 points today. But the ETF of the transports isn't even close to the old highs. And what's going on there? That Avis Rent-A-Car short squeeze. Up another $53 today. After being down 20 early. It's a short squeeze. And how do we know? This is how we do this. When I look, we look at certain things. And that is how many days to cover shorts. It's 11 days. Average daily volume is 1.5 million. That's 16 million shares short. That's about how much is in the float. It's a short squeeze. God bless if you bought some, because it has gone from 100 to 450 in 4 weeks. And I got to tell you, there ain't been any news. Ain't much. When I look at the news, all it talks about is short squeeze. CAR. Ready for news? Nothing. When we were stopped from flying, it was going higher because people were going towards road trips instead of airlines. That was that. But there's nothing else. And if I look at their earnings and sales, ew. $7 loss. Huh. Hey, up next, what else in the market? News of the day. Anything else today? This is the one and only Investor's Edge. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. Thanks for joining us today. The main question I'm getting asked, how did we go straight up? Just so you know, we went through first off, the market did nothing for months. It's the big indices. For months and months and months and months. We turned down in February because of the war. bottomed, the low was, if I can find the date, I can tell you, 330. That was the day where they came out and said everything's great, and 3 days later, ceasefire, which gapped the Dow up 1,200, NASDAQ up 800. But since then, up. And we are at the highs for the S&P and the NASDAQ. How is that possible? Oil's still in the 90s. How did we get it back and go a little bit higher? It's simple. The mega caps in the market, 35%, I'm rounding off, 35% of the S&P, 65% of the NASDAQ 100. That's how. They've kind of come straight up. But right before earnings also. That's the story. They're that influential. That's part of it. But there's been improvement, of course. The software coming off the lows. Transport's better. J.B. Hunt, a trucker, up $12 today. FedEx up $15 today. I didn't see any news on FedEx, but it was up $15. C.H. Robinson up 13. Good day. And oil prices were up today because the story came out. Hey, this may take months to come to some fruition with Iran. That doesn't matter, though. Before the war, there were, blah, 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 blah. As long as they open up that thing, let the oil flow, get oil prices lower, I think we're okay. I think. Now, while the market's doing this, I just want to warn you some things, just like while we were dropping, we said be careful of the bulls. Because if it turns into a bear market, they're going to just stay bullish. Well, I just want to let you know there are people out there calling for a crash. It's going to crash. It's going to crash. The ex-Treasury Secretary, Hank Paulson, came out and said he thinks the bond market's going to crash. Do you know what happens if the bond market crashes? That means interest rates fly to the upside, and there goes the stock market. And then the dummies that want to lower rates into a rising rate business make things worse. I don't pay attention to any of them. There are some that are just selling books or selling something. So be careful. But the main crux of the starting of the show today was that Allbirds. It was 24 yesterday. It's under 11 today. And again, I wholeheartedly tell you, I have no clue where it ends up. All I know is they don't have a lot of money. That's all I know. And they're changing their name to AI. That's all I know. And it reminds me of what happened in 99. That's all I know. When companies changed their name, added .com to goose their stock, that's all I know. And of course, you know what happened after. I wish them well. I hope they do great things. We're always rooting for everybody's success. But this sounds a little bit, not so sure. Crypto was flat today, but trading back a little bit above the 50-day. That's okay. And there were some things that were down pretty good today. And Netflix is down, only 9 now in the aftermarket, but still down. And I noticed a few things getting in trouble. We warned you about defense stocks topping out, and they're worsening. Why? Because when war goes by the wayside, supposedly, I want to warn you also about, why are cruise lines rolling over? Even though oil prices came down, I'd be careful that airlines are not acting well. There's still plenty of areas. They hit Schwab. Charles Schwab was down 7.6% today on 1.5 times volume on their earnings report. I haven't gone through it yet, but looks like the market didn't like it. Earnings were up 38%, revenues up 16%. I don't know what's wrong with that. But the market sold it off. So the market sold off some other financials also. LPL. And a few Raymond James. Little cousin stock thing. And now we head into the midst of earnings season. And we'll keep a watch. In the banks, Bank of New York, good reaction, new high. Citigroup, good reaction, but down 2 and change today. JP Morgan, bad reaction, but up 4 today. What do we know? Morgan Stanley had a good reaction, but down 4 today. What do we know? We'll see how it all plays out. Very mixed bag in banking land. I'm watching this Bank of New York, though. It was strong beforehand and is in new high ground. BK's the symbol. I'm getting asked about China because it's getting a little stronger. Not interested. I don't have a leading stock in China right now. We look for leading stocks and leading groups. Solar stocks breaking down. Got to let you know that too. But overall, big indices, dang. And the mid caps and small caps, they're doing nothing wrong also. And again, we don't know why. But the market's doing its thing. And for whatever reason, after ignoring them forever, they're jamming the bigs back up towards their highs, and we'll see what they got going from here. Not Microsoft, still way down, but a damn good move off the recent low. Bond market, stable. While everybody's yelling and screaming bonds, we've been just telling you, as long as it stays stable, as long as it's not crazy, we're good. If we start heading toward 5% on the 10-year, I think that could be trouble. That'll be watched closely. Inflation will come down if oil prices come down. Oil prices will come down slower than go up. That's how it works. I think it's down a few pennies in the last few days. But I can promise you, you don't want to stick up here at $90 plus dollars. I don't think the economy can stand it right now, even though eventually the economy will end up getting used to it. And that's a little bit of the market. I don't have much to complain about. Their area is bad reaction to earnings. We'll see how Netflix finishes up tomorrow. I'm sure in the little confab all these companies do, they'll say nothing untoward. And we'll go from there. Up next. Oh, I'm getting asked about SpaceX. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. All right, SpaceX. So SpaceX is going to be coming public. Not sure exactly when. There is talk about a $1.7 trillion market cap. Now, I do believe SpaceX includes Starlink, which is fantastic. Elon Musk. I flew Hawaiian Airlines from Hawaii over the Pacific with Starlink, and the internet was fantastic over the Pacific. So that's big. But 1.7 trillion? We'll see when it comes out, what it opens at. I have a sneaking suspicion, just a guess. You know how all these other IPOs over the last year or two have opened up hot and dropped 30, 40, 50, 60, 70%? No, we're not saying it's going to drop 30, 40, 50, 60, 70%. We're just letting you know. We think it's going to come out too hot. Too high. They should be leaving some over for retail. But the investment banker's job is to get the highest price possible for their client. And screw the retail, being you. So when it gets closer, we'll let you know. But those numbers are ridiculous, if you ask me. That is not a rib. It's just a matter of, as I look at my IPO screen, and I see a lot of this hyped up IPOs of the last year or two, they screwed everybody. That's all. BLSH, the company called Bullish, $37 IPO, opened at $118. It's $41. You catch that drift? Interesting enough, Fly, Space is hot right now. $45 deal. They opened that up at 66, went down to 18. It is back to 45 though, because space stocks are kind of hot right now. But I can go to Klarna, very hyped, $40 deal. Opened at 56. It's 14. Or the very hot Figma, $33 deal. They opened at 130 within a day. It's 20. And then there's the crap. Those twins who got screwed by Zuckerberg came out with some crypto exchange crap. $28 opened at 44. It's 4 and change. And I heard they fired a bunch of people. These are not ribs on people bringing these public. We're just talking the stocks. So we just want you to be careful when it comes out. How about MNTN, $30? It's now 10. Oh, StubHub, $23.50 deal. They opened it at 28. $6.82. No, I'm not making it up. $6.82 for StubHub. So when we get closer to SpaceX, and I do believe OpenAI or what are these, a couple of these companies are also coming public. I think those will be hot too. We'll let you know. You don't want to spend $5 on $1 bills. And that's what they do to you, unfortunately. They're very good at that. And they're very good at hyping and touting and touting and hyping while you lose your ass. But they got big fees. And they've gained one heck of a reputation through the years of doing it. So be ready at that time. They're going to have veins popping out of their neck as they talk about it. I'm not so sure I'd pay $1.7 trillion for the company. And that's the little SpaceX for you. And if they decide to bring it at a decent price, we'll let you know. We hope they do. But we kind of know these people. I got 25 to 50 IPOs that are way underwater in the last couple of years. They never bring it up anymore, right? They got their money. You got screwed. Markets very overbought here. Big dose of bullishness. Didn't care today. It was overbought yesterday and the day before. But I do worry a lot of the stuff off the bottom is doing the job. But they're all going to be reporting earnings, and if they perform, that'll be something else. And we will let you know because we're on top of every earnings report that comes out. Especially the big movers. I forgot to mention Taiwan Semi reported, and it was down $12 on strong numbers. That's of note. But really did not affect. The semis were up again today. A few things were down, but did not affect the semiconductor index. But we'll keep you on notice there, because as the semiconductors go, the market tends to go. It's been doing it for a couple of decades. It used to be the financials, but 2008 took that moniker off of them. That all said, you have a great evening. Drive carefully. Oh, Winston just entered. When you get home, do like we do, quite simple. Make sure you hug your family, hug your children. They will feel better. You will feel better. I promise. Stay well, be well. Thanks for joining. Have a good night. Bye-bye.